Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Tom and Rhonda Curry. Most of you have met us. Maybe some of you haven't. We were missionaries in India for 5 years. We've been a pastoral couple in the U.S. for many years. We're from the state of Indiana, from Liberty, south of Richmond, and presently we're in Hsinchu City, Taiwan, where I am on staff at a very large Chinese church. They have 8 services every weekend, folks. 8 services in a 10-story building. 2 of the stories are underground, and one of those levels is parking. But anyway, 2 of those 8 services are in English, and we're working with those English-speaking services. And anyway, we've been on the ground floor with Friends of Hope and helping to start Hope Home. And some of you have even been over to India with us, so you have great memories in that way. And yeah, we just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on the situation there in India. Maybe some of you follow the news. We feared back in March of 2020, we feared that if COVID ever heats up in India, it'll be bad, really bad, because India does not have the medical infrastructure to even come close to handling the numbers of people there. And for some reason, India dodged a bullet there for that first year. But just this last February, COVID heated up in India, and it seemed to be a different variant, and it exploded in that country. At one time, there were over 200,000 cases in one day. And those of you who know India know that if the government says there are 200,000 cases, the rural parts of India and the mountainous parts of India, there's no way the government would really know. So it probably was double that. And so India has been in a lockdown, a major lockdown, so much suffering by its people, so many deaths, and so many pastors and families dying and sick. All of the directors and staffs of our homes have had COVID. Thankful to God, up to this date, none of them have actually died from it. But most all of our homes were forced to be closed by the government. The government did not want so many people in one given building. And it was like, well, duh, where do you expect these kids to go? The reason they're at these homes is because they're destitute. And so they were sent back to the villages where they came from. And we've been worried sick. And so we've taken the sponsorship monies that would normally go to the monthly care of the children. And we've instructed the directors to get out to these villages, find these children, and whoever's caring for them to use that money to purchase food and medicines and just to help. So that's what they've been doing. And so major crisis. If you've seen the funeral pyres, Hindus, they burn their bodies. It's kind of a sacred thing. Bodies, people who have died, loved ones who have died, and the crematoriums could not handle the numbers of corpses. So there was just makeshift wood piles of corpses being burnt in almost every city. They even were throwing the corpses in the Ganges River. The Ganges River is viewed as a holy river. There were dead bodies floating up and all this kind of thing. It was every person's nightmare coming true in India this past 6 months. And so, yeah.
Do we have a great need at one of the homes with the Malta home?
Yeah.
And the girls there?
Thank you, Rhonda, for mentioning that. One of our homes is in a mountainous tribal village. It is a girls' home. It is for Malto people, for orphan girls. And there are 14 girls there normally. And there's one small church in the southern part of Indiana that took it upon themselves to sponsor all the girls in that home. It's quite an amazing thing. I mean, this is a church of like 40 people, you know. They just, and, you know, their pastor was a bivocational man, and he refused to take a salary, so they didn't have the expense of a pastor, so they just used that money to sponsor these girls, which is an amazing thing.
Great
Well,
love there.
unfortunate thing, that pastor died of COVID this past year and put the church in a major crisis. And the churches cannot now afford to sponsor those children. So we have 14 girls, Malto girls. The Maltos are India's most backward people, a mountain tribe of people. We have 0 sponsors now for these girls. So if you've ever thought about sponsoring a child, folks, now's the time to do it. Friends of Hope,
So needed.
we've never been in such a need of sponsors for children. It's $35 a month. We'll send you a picture. You know, you have to be patient with us. Sometimes it takes a year. But
We'll get it to you.
100% of the sponsorship funds, though, goes to the children's. We reserve that and for that very purpose. And so just to mention that great need, I want to thank you for your support for Friends of Hope. I hope this has been helpful. Continue to pray for all of our children. We have, 6 homes in India that we provide the support for, and 2 in Nepal. COVID situation there has been just as bad. So just thank you. God bless you. Have a great day.